Reset. What's up, Ronald? You weren't here for the first stream. The computer just crashed. But we're here. We're now live. Maybe this resent out some notifications. So maybe more people know that we're live now. Who knows? We'll see. So weird how it just starts doing that. I need a new computer. That much is very obvious. Come on, life. It's time to start getting ahead. If Ilya or Charles pulls out, who is getting the title shot? Maycee Barber reported your stream. Maybe she did for hate speech. Even though it's not hate speech. She literally got breast implants. She missed weight by half a pound. She missed weight by the amount of a breast implant. You're not a professional. You're not a professional. If you're doing things to your body that stop you from doing your job, you are not a professional. I don't think that's a wild take. Your job is to be a cage fighter, rock up, and make weight. You have put something in your body that stops you being able to rock up and make weight. You are not a professional. Is that a controversial take? I don't think it is. If Ilya or Charles pulls out, who is getting the title shot? Oh, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett's absolutely getting a title shot. Absolutely, mate. Let's, like, Nuru, again, just in the last 24 months, right? Colby Covington has gotten a title shot and been the backup fighter at the same time, even though Bilal should have been the backup fighter. Stipe Miocic has gotten a title shot. Marlon Chito Vera has gotten a title shot. Diego Lopez has gotten a title shot over Movsar Evloev, who Movsar Evloev has a win over Diego Lopez. Whoever gets there is no sport. This is not a sport anymore. Take the rankings, take the title shots, take all of that completely out of the context and throw it in the bin. This is just a promotion company for fun fights. There is no semblance of a sport left in this promotion at all. What's up, Fight Talk? How are you, dude? I remember Misha Tate almost missed weight because of her tit job. Ladies waste so much time and money for fuck's sake. Listen, I'm obviously like... There's nothing wrong with a woman going and getting fake tits. Absolutely nothing wrong. Especially if you are a social media, or you work in marketing, or you work in sales, or you work in influence, if you work in content creation, if you want to feel better about yourself. There are so many reasons for a woman to go and get fake tits. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. If you are a professional athlete, and your paycheck and your standings in the division depend on whether or not you can make weight, to go and add an extra half a pound to your body when you already struggle to make weight is unprofessional. It's not about her getting the fake tits. It's not about them being a waste of money or anything about that. You are already struggling to make weight. And now you are like carrying around bags of silicone while you are trying to make weight. It's pretty clear. It's alright, Tim. It's all good, mate. It's all good, mate. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, Tim. Most important question. Smash or pass Barber and Blanchfield? You'd go there. Jazargo, you'd go there. Good take. Who takes the shot between Moicano? Good take. Who takes the shot between Moicano or Dariush? Ooh. Moicano again. Dariush doesn't sell anything. Fake bazookas are terrible unless you got lopsided titties or something. Rock with what God gave you. Rock with what God gave you, you know? The only makeup you need is the makeup God gave us. The beard. The glorious makeup that God gave us. What else can you do? So yeah, Paddy Pimblett, I think this is off the back of Arman Sarukian being offered Paddy Pimblett, or Paddy Pimblett being offered Arman Sarukian, and Paddy said no to it. So Paddy is ducking everyone. But Toad, you said Paddy and Buckley have both ducked guys under 35. Who did Buckley duck under 35? Can you remind me, please? Since no one wants to fight the number one contender, the winner of Klein versus Gamrot needs to not waste their 30 seconds in the warehouse and call a shot at Arman Sarukian. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, go after Arman Sarukian, call him out, try and create some media noise. Dana White and the UFC want Arman Sarukian sniped anyway, so get in there and be the one to put your hand up to do it. Like, we all know that Dana White and Ari Emanuel wanted someone to sniper Bryce Mitchell. You know, Gene Silver put his hands up. Gene Silver was the one that said he's going to do it. You watch now. Gene Silver is going to be very pleasantly rewarded by the UFC brass. I'm pretty sure Ariel Manuel shook his hand after the fight. Like, he's going to be looked after. So if you see someone that the company hates, like Movsar Evloyev or Muhammad Makayev or Arman Sarukian, put your hand up, fighters, and be the one to go and... Like, the UFC put bounties on their own fighters' heads because they don't want to deal with all the backlash that's coming now. Like the backlash of Yair versus Alexander Volkanovski. If someone had just slept Movsar, if Arnold Allen or Aljamain Sterling had been the one to choke out Movsar Evloyev, the UFC would be very, very happy with Aljamain Sterling right now. They'd be very, very happy with him. Nina Drama news, which is not a bad thing because not the AM bro isn't here anymore. Bit of Nina Drama news. Merab Dvalishvili fucking face planted Nina Drama. Dead on her face. Fuck, he's such a dude, he's gonna get himself or someone killed one day. He's such a reckless animal with the face slamming. Jesus Christ in heaven. Look at him, he's just decked Nina Drama. Oh my god. Let me read some comments. Good, Merab. Johan is like, I'm a fan of Merab now. Alright, Too Smelly says, did you hear about the kid that shot their parents? Got sent to prison, one got a sex change affecting the taxpayers. Yeah, I mean, they're mentally ill. What do you want me to say? They're mentally ill people. They're mentally ill people. If you chop your penis off, you're a mentally ill person. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? If you think your forearm skin can be turned into a penis, you're mentally ill. You know, it is what it is, mate. We used to put people in asylums. Now we fucking pay for them to get their dicks chopped off. I'm so triggered by you bringing up this Jezebel. What's up, Nacho? Nina had it coming. Looks like it. Buckley was offered Leon in March. Who was... Let's leave that up a little bit, and then I'm going to go back and read some of the comments underneath it. I reckon that'll be funny. Buckley was offered Leon in March, who was the #1 ranked guy at the time and would have gotten him a title shot to instead fight Old Man No Knees because he knew he could only beat guys over 35. Oh, right. I don't know, dude. I feel like Leon Edwards falls into the washed up category as well. He was offered Leon in March. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that. I still believe it. Still not going to stop me being a fan of Buckley. Get bucked. I'm so triggered by you bringing up this Jezebel. Yeah. The fact that the government would pay for it is insane. The government didn't pay for it. Two smelly fingers. You paid for it. You pay for it. When people say the government paid for it, that's a nice little matrix trick. That's a nice little linguistics trick to make you feel like it's not you paying for it. But if you go to work and a certain amount of your paycheck isn't yours anymore because you have to give it to the government, and then the government gives it to that person, you paid for it. You paid for it. That's how you got to start thinking about life. You paid for it. Two smelly fingers. You went to work, lost some of your life's energy, some of the time on the clock. You have a finite amount of time on your clock, and you worked for that in exchange for money, and you gave some of that money to the government, and then the government gave it to that person to chop their dick off. You paid for it. We paid for it. I paid for it. We paid for it. Fucking insanity. Did you see the video of Merab humping Nina Drava? She was so uncomfortable. It was hilarious. Yeah, don't allow Merab into regular society. The dude is a gremlin. How dare you use common sense, Dougie? I know. Imagine actually thinking about the world around us rather than just reading what the newspapers say. Is she okay? She'll be fine. Oh, here's the video. Sick. Let's have a look at the video. Let's have a look at the video. Fucking... Okay, very, very good. Very, very good. What's up, Lane? How are you? Jesus fucking Christ. He just fucking ended it. I'm a fan of Buckley as well, but I have to say the things the rest of the MMA fans will only after post-loss clarity. Yeah, no, Toad, I'm happy that you brought it up, because it's good to have all the information. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know that. Oh my god. This must have been after she spurned... Yeah, after he humped her leg, he just decided to fucking face plant her. That is so goddamn funny. Man of the people. Hell yeah, I fuck with Marab now. Let's go. Dude, there are so many MMA fans that just fucking hate Nina Drama. There's so many MMA fans. This is fucking hilarious. Marab said, hold my beer to the Nina curse. That's why he's a Chad. Why do people hate Nina? I don't know her well. Jesus fucking Christ. There are so many Nina Drama haters out there. Not the AM bro, be loving this. Absolutely loving this. Usman will mop up Buckley. I think he will, dude. I think Usman will mop up Buckley pretty cleanly as well. Pretty easily as well, dude. Yeah, I think he will. There's a new petition out. There is a new petition out. It is the petition for John Jones to keep his belt. The petition for John Jones to keep his belt. Let's see how well it goes. Well. How are the turntables have turned? Oh, Usman will mop... Sorry, I read that wrong. My dyslexia jumped in on that one. No, Buckley will mop up Usman. Sorry, Nacho. I read that one completely wrong. Buckley will mop up Usman, I do believe. And I know. I hate to say it, but Nina Drama videos are some of the best promotion the UFC does for their fighters nowadays. I know, dude, and that should make, like, I get the hatred obviously goes to Nina Drama because she is the one doing the promoting, but the fact that it's the UFC not doing enough promotion, that's the problem. It's not Nina that's the problem. It's the UFC doing a lack of promotion that's the problem. But Nina is the only promotion, so Nina cops the hate because she's the one on the front line of promotion. Peter Yan is fighting Marcus McGee in Abu Dhabi. I think that if Yan wins, he will face the winner of O'Malley versus Marab since their fights are only a week or two apart. I agree, Ronalk. I believe what is happening is that the UFC, here's what I believe is the storyline, the matchmakers in the room of the UFC. Here's what I think they're doing. They want Sean O'Malley to beat Marab. They want Petr Yan to beat Marcus McGee, and then they want to do Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan early next year, maybe January or February next year. That's what they're looking for. Maybe late towards the end of this year for the December card or early next year. That's the look. That's the look that they're going for. They're hoping that if they can sell us a 5-round Sean O'Malley Petr Yan main event, that'll be that big standalone first quarter fight that they do at the start of every single year. I signed the petition for John Jones to keep his belt. No, you didn't, Nacho. Don't be a fuckwit. Who do you think is a fighter who is over-hated by the fans? Personally, I like Jayton Almeida, but I think he has always been fun outside of the Derek Lewis fight. Over-hated by the fans? Well, firstly, I don't like Jayton Almeida. No, I don't like Jayton Almeida at all. He's just watching him in the Apex sit on heavyweights just fucking kills me. So no, I don't like Jayton Almeida. There's just been too much bad blood between my entertainment and Jayton Almeida. Same thing as Sean Brady. Too over-hated by the fans is probably Ian Gary. The fans really fucking hate Ian Gary. Really fucking hate Ian Gary. And Ian Gary, like, he's fun to laugh at because he's so insufferable. But he fights often, steps in on short notice and saves cards. Ian is hated for good... Yeah. Or Jamal Hill. People really fucking hated Jamal Hill. And all Jamal Hill was trying to do was just sell fights. Like, he was doing it on purpose. Like, Jamal Hill was being a Colby Covington. He was being a character. All of 2024, Jamal Hill was being a character. Like, Jamal Hill is actually a pretty chilled guy. And knew what he was doing to rile up fan interest. And fans went for him fucking hard. McGee will brutally KO Petr Yan. No, Nacho. No, we can't have that. Petition to keep John Jones's belt. This is the gayest thing I have ever heard. I agree, Yothan. I agree. It's fucking insane. Ian is hated for good rate. True. How do you drive a Pollock, crazy Dougie? Lock him in a circular room and tell him to piss in the corner. Okay. Alright, thank you too, Smelly. I needed that. I don't like Almeida or Brady either. Yep, there you go. I think it's just because we've watched them in the Apex for too many fights. So yeah, they can have some good performances on pay-per-views or on crowded arenas, but it's like, I remember all the boring moments you've made me sit through. Brendan All-In Allen is the most popular guy on the roster. He absolutely is not, mate. McGee actually has really good boxing and one-punch power. Yan will probably have to really use his kicking and grappling game to get this one done as a 3-rounder. It doesn't help him. I agree, Toad. I agree. Like, it's a good fight. It's a decent fight. It's an underrated fight. Hardcores know it's a good fight. But I also see what the UFC are trying to set up as well in the future. Johan, Timmy. Johan overly hated, you reckon? Which Jailton Almeida fight did he just sit on them outside Lewis? He gets finishes fast, man. Ian Gary as a person sucks, but as a fighter he is quite cool. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't remember like Jailton Almeida's entire fucking roster right now, Jazago, but I do. All I can remember is the emotion of rage that I feel from seeing Jailton Almeida in the Apex, month after month after month, week after week after week after week. There's just Jailton Almeida just brings rage, and the name Jailton Almeida fills me with rage and fury and hatred. Yeah, same thing as Sean Brady. They just annoy the fuck out of me. How do you drown a blonde woman, Dougie? Tell her there's a scratch and sniff sticker at the bottom of the pool. Okay. It's too smelly. What's going on here? What's going on with the dad jokes today? I mean, I don't hate it, but what is going on with the dad jokes? Maycee Barber missed weight. We covered that. We got the new poster for Poirier 3. We did that one. Marab has requirements for a future wife. Not going to listen to Marab do an interview. It's going to take too bloody long. Fights we want to see. This is very true. This is very, very true. Fights we want to see versus the fights that fucking Dana White is cooking up. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, not getting it. Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, not getting it. Francis Ngannou versus Mario Batista, obviously we are not getting it. Very fucking true. Very fucking true. Let us kick over to what we were doing yesterday, which was the good old which fighter is winning the UFC in 2025 debate. We started this yesterday. So if you weren't listening to yesterday's stream, I'll just catch you up a little bit. What the plan was for yesterday was to go through every single fight card of 2025, reminisce a little bit, but also add up and see which country is winning the UFC in 2025. Where was it? It is right here. All right, beautiful. Let's tick over to this, boys. So we've got Russia, we've got Brazil, we've got Canada, we've got Australia, New Zealand, we've got Georgia, we've got England, we've got South Africa, we've got China, we've got Ireland, we've got the Czech Republic, I believe, France, and India. If you get a top 15 ranked win, you get 1 point. If you get a top 5 win, you get 2 points. If you compete for a title, you get 3 points. That is how we are doing this. We're doing it like that. We're doing it like that. We're doing it like that. I like him because I'm a jiu-jitsu nerd and heavyweights almost never have jiu-jitsu in there. Well, that's fair enough, Jazago. I get it, dude. I get it. And respect to you for trying to defend Jailton Almeida, but it's not working on this channel. But keep doing it, dude, because fighters need fans like you who actually respect them and like them, especially the overly hated ones, you know? Like Nacho was fighting for Israel Adesanya for the longest time. What's up, Zesty Drinkers? How are you, dude? Here to feed Dougie my meat today. Did you really hang a red UFC sign on your wall? This is a fake wall, mate. This is a fake wall. It's just to cover up the ugly office behind it. What side are you on the Graham Hancock versus Flint DeBell debate? Is Graham Hancock is the one who believes in life before the Great Flood or the Great Cataclysm? Is that correct? That's Graham Hancock. And what is Flint DeBell? Bring me up on Flint DeBell. What is his argument? How good was the Anderson Silva watching career show? That was great. That was fucking phenomenal. We're definitely going to do another one of them again. I'll do a poll for it in the chat. Next time we have a dead week of fight nights, or if I'm going to do a nice long Saturday stream, I'll do a poll for it in the chat. I'll put in a bunch of names, and we'll poll which career watch you guys want to do. Why did the Serbian bring a ladder to the bar? Why did the Serbian bring a ladder to a bar? Okay, because someone told him drinks were on the house. Okay, two smelly fingers. There's no need to put it. You could have said the blonde. All right, you didn't have to bring the Serbian into that. Nacho, where do you sit? I'm interested. Here we go. Timmy's in. Zesty has been defending the GOAT, John Jones. Zesty does defend the GOAT, John Jones. He is a bit that way. Have you seen BJ Penn got arrested twice and is now out and didn't attend court? Yeah, so the end of BJ Penn is nigh. I don't know if this is a hot take. You guys tell me this. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think BJ Penn going to prison is a good thing. Not maximum security prison, but some sort of confined restraint environment where people are looking out for his better interests. I think it's a good thing, to be honest with you. I don't think BJ Penn should be in his house with his mother, because there's a very good chance that BJ Penn is going to stab his mother in the heart while she sleeps one day soon. So I think the state stepping in to put BJ Penn away is a good thing. Now, whether it, like, obviously it needs to be in a sort of environment that isn't a maximum security prison. You know, it doesn't need to be fucking Gen Pop, you know. But there does need to be some sort of mandated care of BJ Penn. He's a dangerous man and a threat to his family. Tim, I'm a big Hancock guy. Dibble got exposed as lying about a bunch of his claims. Okay, all right, fair enough. GSP's 2 losses were him quitting. Oh, wait till we do the GSP rewatch stream. I used to be the biggest Hancock head, but now I'm torn. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the Anderson watch-along was one of the best. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful, dude. I'm happy. Yeah, that was a really good one. I really enjoyed the Anderson watch-along stream. If it gives him an excuse to lock him down so he can't hurt himself or others, then yeah, that's essentially where I am at Shotgun. Like, everyone knows how the BJ Penn story is going to end without state intervention. Everyone knows how that is gonna end. So what do you do? What do you do? But like, let's say that you're the ruler. You get to be the king. You're the ruler. You see this citizen, BJ Penn, living at home with his mum. What are you gonna do? You're gonna just let him kill his mum? I've lost respect for everything JRE related. That's pretty strange, Noru, considering Joe Rogan Experience covers a vast range of topics. You know, you've lost respect for everything. Doug, Dibble is a traditional archaeologist who strongly disagrees with Hancock that there were any advanced civilizations with any technology before the Younger Dryas event. Okay, well, I mean, I think there were. So just on the surface, without going any deeper than that, I still back Hancock. Doesn't mean I agree with everything Hancock says, but I think there were. BJ Penn will be pulling guard on correction officers daily. That's true. That is true. Just what I hope for. His mother thinks he has Cape Grass syndrome. I'm not sure what Cape Grass syndrome is, but fair enough. I mean, he's got something. So you're saying that BJ needs a lobotomy? Well, if the shoe fits. Shotgun, he was arrested for domestic abuse as well. Do you know who it was that he attacked? He was also surrounded by scumbags and enablers who were leeching on him. Also true. Yep. Big evidence guy. DeBell was slaughtered. His mum has it coming. She obviously is a double agent sent by the government. I mean, that's true as well. I mean, if your mother is a clone, then she deserves to be stabbed in the... Everything. I don't care for Jordis and Peterson, Kill Tony, Melhans, etc. anymore. Okay, fair enough. So you're throwing the whole baby out with the bathwater. Fair enough. It is what it is. Fair enough. It is what it is. I mean, Jordan Peterson has gone off the fucking deep end completely ever since he went into his benzo dropout. Jordan Peterson has absolutely gone off the fucking deep end. For sure, I agree with that. For sure, he has not been the same since they sent him to Serbia and put him on pills. Very fucking true, mate. Okay, so there was one fight that we didn't get to yesterday, which was UFC 311, and it was, speaking of, Jailton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. Now, I think this was outside of the top 5. Sergey Spivak was number 7th. Jailton Almeida was number 12th, I think it was. So Jailton Almeida ended up earning Brazil 1 point, which I didn't add on to the stream. So Brazil moves up to 4 points on the Global Olympics of who is winning MMA in 2025. So Russia, so far, 2 cards in, 8 points. Brazil, 4 points. Georgia, 5 points. Craziness. Czech Republic, 2 points. Very, very good stuff. Tony Ferguson and BJ Penn should share a room in a sanitarium. Yes, I agree, Jazago. I absolutely agree. I think Tony's story might end up on the news as well someday. Yeah, I think so too. I think so as well. Yeah, Tony Ferguson is one of those ones that we're unfortunately just going to... They gave their life for the game, you know? This is why, as much as we joke around about the fighters, they do give their life to the game, and Tony's one of them. Kill Tony is goated. There you go. Nacho's still a fan. Do you have any information about Morales fighting Leon Edwards? It's just a rumor, Ronalk, and for those of you that know how to go back and check your sources, it's a rumor released by the Morales camp. It's the exact same thing that the Fighting Nerds tried to do with pushing Kyle Baralhol to step in on short notice and fight Hamzat Chimaev because Dricus wasn't ready. Remember how Kyle Baralhol was like, oh, I heard Dricus tore his leg off in training. It's just the Brazilians trying to get themselves a fight, and good on them. Jordan Peter, but what do you mean by what? You really have to define our words here. You know, what do you mean by that? Fucking Jordan Peterson. I can't even hear Sergey Spivak's name without saying he's a great fighter. I'd love to fight him. Is there some AI program that can do this for you? Not reliably. AI is a chat bot. AI can't actually quantify data. We're going to have to do it fight by fight, card by card. But hey, it gives us something to do to interact with while the stream is happening. See, that was a fun fight, man. You're not going to... Jazago? Keep doing this. Keep standing up for your boy, Jailton Almeida. Maybe one day you'll get me across the line. But for now, I fucking hate Jailton Almeida. But hey, Jazago, the fans got me to start enjoying Anderson Silva and appreciate him more like a fine wine, you know? Y'all got me to actually do a UFC feat tier list. Just keep pressing on, Jazago. Never quit. That's the true moral of this entire channel. Dougie's Corner, the true moral of the channel is never fucking quit. Google Campgrass Syndrome and read an AI summary. It's scary. Alright, I will. Alright then, if that's what you want me to do, shoot the shotgun, I will. What is Campgrass Syndrome? And does BJ Penn have it? Let's have a look. Campgrass Syndrome. Here we go, Campgrass Syndrome. Let's have a look. Campgrass Syndrome is a rare... Shall we bring it up on the stream? Let us do it. Campgrass Syndrome is a rare, delusional misidentification syndrome where a person believes that someone they know has been replaced by an identical-looking imposter. This is what BJ Penn has. The person experiencing the delusion firmly believes the imposter looks and acts like the original person, but they are not the real one. And the belief is resistant to reasoning. Yeah, that's what he's got. There is no known cure for Semkas syndrome. Can be challenging. Yep, needs to be managed with therapy and medication, which is essentially just a medication in this term is just a chemical lobotomy. That's all it is. Caregiving. When someone's caring for someone with Campgrass syndrome, it's important to understand that they are living in a different reality and must be patient and understanding. There is no way to convince them otherwise. Yeah, this is. I mean, you need a mental asylum for people like this. You need a mental asylum for people like this. It is what it... Like, I'm sorry that it's happened to BJ Penn, one of the goats of our sports, but CTE and fighting has caused him to go... He needs to go into a mental asylum. He needs to go into a mental asylum. But here's the big debate with this, right? Here's the big debate with this. People knew in 1993, when we started doing MMA, boxing had been around for years and years and years. And people knew that getting punched in the head gave a risk of doing this, right? People knew that this was going to be a risk. What's up, Val? Good to see you. People knew that this was going to be a risk, doing this, when they started doing MMA, right? They went into this knowing and willingly that there is a chance that this is going to happen to them. So is it up to the UFC to pay for their life insurance? Like, if I tell you, right, that I'm going to give you $50,000, but I'm going to put a nail through your hand. You go, oh, I'll take $50,000. But if I put a nail through your hand, there's a chance that it's going to hit a nerve and you're never going to be able to use your hand again. Right? I'm going to put a nail through your hand. I'm going to give you $50K. But there's a chance you'll never be able to use your hand again if it hits the right nerve. If you say yes to that, whose problem is it that you can't ever use your hand again? Whose problem is it? Is it my problem for pointing a camera at the experience? Whose problem is it? Not my problem. I warned you. You knew. You knew what the deal was. Let's read some chats. After a nice controversial take like that. Come to think of it, you don't bloody look like the Dougie that I bloody remember, mate. Yep. What should I eat? Rice and beans or garlic and pasta? Been trying to figure it out for an hour. Flip a coin. No, eat rice and beans. It's better for you. Very true. We never got rid of the lobotomies. We just made them look a bit nicer by doing it with pills. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, yeah. Dougie loves glizzies. On your zesty Drickus. We needed that, mate. What's good with you, Val? BJ Penn has been losing his mind for years, and this whole Instagram thing has been a cry for help. Surprised to see some people just talking about it. I think it's because it's reached boiling point, right, Bobby Mays? Anyone else watching Strickland's stream with Aiden Ross right now? I didn't even know he was doing one, Val. How dare you victim blame? I'm clutching my bloody pearls. There are a lot of fighters who still don't think it can happen to them. It might be a wake-up call. Yeah, I mean, but that's, again, just... This is not my problem. Like, if you choose to drive without a seatbelt on, you think you're not going to be the one to get into a car crash. And yet you do. This is not my problem. Didn't the NFL have a bunch of lawsuits because of this stuff? Yes, it did. It did. But I think playing sports like NFL and getting into fighting is different, right? Because in sports like NFL, it's less obvious that you are going to be getting your head kicked in. Whereas when you are getting into competitive fighting, especially from 1993 onwards, you know what is going to happen to you. We saw the boxers like Muhammad Ali lose the ability to speak. That was clearly visible in the 90s. I don't think it's real, guys. It seems orchestrated by the psychiatrists. We're the only people who experience it. Have psychiatrists and we're the only people who experience it already have a psychiatrist. We're the only people who experience it already. So what came first, the syndrome or the psychiatrist? I want the 50k and I want to be able to use my hand again. Yes, the eternal promise of democracy. I want my cake and I want to be able to eat it too. Yes, the eternal promise. I want my cake, I want the 50k, and I want to be able to use my hand. I want it all and I want it now, and it's your fault. Because I can't do both at the same time. Democracy manifest. Oh, God. When I'm king. BJ Penn's mom took out a restraining order on him. Yep. I just had a 60-second video in Discord where you were... I just a 60-second video in the Discord what you were just talking about, Dougie. You just dropped a video in the Discord similar to what I was talking about. Ironically, Max having such a great chin has probably made him receive 10 times the CTE would have if he'd just been knocked out a few times. I agree, dude. The BMN. I love the BMN. No, I agree, Nacho. Like, you know that I've recently just been going back and catching up and refreshing my mind on MMA history and watching old cards. Max has CTE already. I noticed it during the Max Holloway Ilya Topuria build-up when his shit-talking on every single interview was just, we'll find out Saturday night. And I was like, Max used to be better than this. For those of you who were on the stream during those times, you'll remember that I was like surprised at how bad Max was at shit-talking. I was like, I swear to God, Max used to be better than this. After going back and watching old fights, Max has CTE. Max used to speak a lot clearer, a lot sharper, a lot better. Max has CTE. Absolutely. Already. He was saying the CIA replaced his whole family. He was. Yeah. You should be cool and play it. Maybe. I might. Yeah, I might. I'm not against it. Too smelly. Simple. The brain consistently heals if you don't try and fry it with alcohol or pharmaceutical medicines or continue to use head trauma. I mean, yeah, the brain can, you can rewire and get your neurons to fire again if you take magic mushrooms or microdose with mushrooms. True. That's true. Seatbelts are quit. That's true, man. Seatbelts are full of gays. The problem is fighters are retarded and think their life will be different and it won't be affected. They think they are invincible. Yes, that is true. But again, you can think that. You're a grown adult male. You can think that. It's not the company's fault to pay for that. It's not up to the company. You can take the $50,000 and drive a nail through your hand for entertainment and think that you'll be okay. You're a free and able human being. You're allowed to do that. Do not come crying back to the company when you can't use your hand anymore. Dougie has CTE from all the glizzy he's rocking in his noggin. Thank you, Zesty Drickus. Do you have any interest in collabs with other MMA YouTubers? Not really, no, but I will do it. I messaged Frankie. I'm going to do another collaboration with Fight Nights with Frankie. But no, not really. Not really. I think it descends into high school drama. Remember when Max was slurring during the Bisping podcast before the Ortega fight, and Bisping was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you okay?" Yeah, signs have been shown. Max is cooked, unfortunately. Yeah, can't imagine him in 10 years. Yeah, he won't be able to talk. He's going to be bad. Is it CTE or just shit talk burnout? I think it's CTE. I think because it's not only, Super Shotgun brings up something here. It's not only the hits to the head, Nuru, that has damaged Max Holloway for the long term. It is also the significant weight cutting that Max has done consistently throughout his career. Max really drains himself to hit 145. And when he does, you've got all that fluid coming out of your brain. All of that fluid. And that affects your brain as well. So, yeah, Max has done terrible damage to his brain. They cancelled the fight and rebooked it for later, and we never got an explanation. And this is what I'm talking about, Super Shotgun, yeah. I know these guys know the risk, but I still feel bad for some young dude getting KO'd badly on the prelims for peanuts. I agree too, Tim. Johan, I agree as well. That's why it's such a weird balancing act. I agree, dude. Yeah, completely. I feel bad for him as well. They know the risks. That's life, mate. It's life. He's always been an idiot. Dougie's a libertarian, clearly. Max's wife is hot, though. True. Very true. Right. Back to this. Bro, I hate the weight cutting more than the blows to the head. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Real bad. Yeah. Headshots while still being drained is also bad. Yeah, and then, so Max is copping all of those headshots while being weight drained. Max is fucked. Max is fucked. I'm sorry to say it, but Max is fucked. Enjoy Max Holloway while you can, boys, because his future is done. Unfortunately, Volk's CTE is almost here. I don't think Volk's is as bad as Max's. I don't think Volk's is quite as bad as Max's. But, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. Right, Adesanya versus Imavov. How many ranked fights were on this card for our Global Olympics? How many ranked fights were on this card? Sharon Magomedov versus Michael Page wasn't a ranked fight. This would have been a ranked fight. Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. This would have been a ranked fight. Now, Pavlovich would have still been in the top 5, I believe. I don't think I need to check that. I'm pretty sure Pavlovich would have been in the top 5. So that's a win for Russia. Another win for Russia. 1 win in the top 5. That means Russia is on... Dude, I think Russia is going to easily fucking dominate the UFC in 2025. I think Russia is going to... I think that's another win for Russia in the top 5. Nice one. And then Imavov got the knockout over Izzy, who was also in the top 5. Imavov got the knockout over Izzy, who was also in the top 5. So that's a top 5 win for France. I did not expect France to be actually getting any points at all. But it looks like France gets a top 5 win, which is 2 points. So Russia should have got 10, sorry, not 1. Russia should have got 10. So Russia's on 10, and France is on 2. Bloody on you, France. Good for you, mate. Look at France making some headway in the UFC Olympics. Who would have bloody guessed? Not me, mate. Not me. I didn't think... that might be all the points France is getting for the rest of the fucking year. Who knows? Let's have a look. Let me read some chats. Dougie could be a black t-shirt. Well, I think I am at this point too, smelly fingers. Taylor always was the worst case of CTE of someone I've ever seen. Don't know that one. Too smelly. Not surprised you do, you bloody old head. Would you rather have a stutter and headaches or a limp and a knee pain for the rest of your life? And don't say neither, you coward. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. That's alright, Bobby Mace. That's alright. I'd rather have a limp and knee pain for the rest of my life than a stutter and headaches. Headaches are brutal, mate. Headaches are brutal. I'm going to have knee pain and hand pain for the rest of my life anyway. Like, my knuckles and my hands already... They pretty much hurt all day anyway. This hand hurts all day anyway, no matter what. And my knee is already kind of bad. Like, so I'll tell you this, Bobby Mays. Like, my dad was a plasterer. He's alive, but my dad is 87 or 85. My dad's fucking old. And he was a plasterer his entire life. He's got no cartilage in his knees. If he drinks too much, he can't walk because the inflammation ruins his knees. He's got absolutely no cartilage in his knees. Like 3 or 4 years ago, he had a collapsed lung, and we thought that was going to kill him. And they found plaster dust sitting at the bottom of his left lung. And he needs cortisol injections in his forearm for the same rep from constantly lifting sheets. So, and I'm already seeing, like, this hand hurts all day long. My knees already hurt already from constantly up and down ladders, up and down ladders, up and down ladders, up and down ladders constantly. So yeah, I know what the ending's going to be. I know how things are going to end. Microdosing is not the most efficient way to heal. Massive amounts can do it in one hit. Oh, okay. There you go, Timmy. Lane, what's up? Shara was ranked, so that's a point for the... Was Shara ranked? Toad. I'm going to go back and check that. Was Shara ranked? Hang on a second. Let me highlight this and put that there. Was Shara ranked? This is why I need to do it live, because I'll miss things that you guys won't catch me up. Hang on a second. Shara was ranked. I'm going to go back and check that. I'm just going to read some chats, and then I'll go back and check that. Was Shara ranked? Okay, interesting. I'm going to put that there as a reminder, Toad, so I don't forget. This is why we do it live, boys. This is why we do it live, so I don't miss anything. Dougie is a shill for Russia. Not my fault they're winning. How are you seeing their rankings at the time? I'm just remembering, but I'm hoping that you guys will step in. If I need to check their rankings, I'll go back and pull the fight up. I heard him say that he hates Ukraine. I never said that. No, I'm not going by the Tapology rankings. I'm going off memory. Madrick Taylor is the boxer. He had full-on CTE at 36 and could barely that's horrible. Headaches suck, especially the ones behind your eye. Yeah, headaches suck. Yeah. Do you have any older... I got a younger brother. Full psychosis and pouring 50 ml of extraction meldal down one's throat and working every time. Or mushies or DMT journeys. Yeah, I would say mushrooms. I would say always try and go for natural. Damn sucks. He's just old, mate. He's an old man. It does suck. Like, it does. I love my dad very much, and it does suck, but that's what happens. You know, this is part of getting old. This is the hammer through the nail. Like, Dougie, do you know that if you do a life of plastering, you're going to be able to pay your bills? You're not going to have a boss. You can, live your own life and be your own boss. But at the end of the journey, you are not going to have any kneecaps. Your hands aren't going to work, and you're probably choked to death in your own lung fluid. Well, you got to die somehow. This is what it is, mate. How much younger is your mum? I want to figure out how old I can be before I pull the plug on having a kid. I think my mum's in her 70s, but you're a man. You can pull the plug in it until 40. So if you're 40, by the time your kid's 20, you'll be 60. So if you're 50, by the time your kid's 20, you'll be 70. So between 40 and 45. 40 and 45, yeah. Life. Yeah, it's life. That's life. What are you going to do? It's life. They used to be able to see the rankings at the time on the official site, but annoyingly they got rid of that. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to bounce between Fight Pass and whatever. Okay, so Toad has said that Shara Bullet was ranked, so MVP should be getting points for beating Shara Bullet. Let us go and see the fight and see if Shara Bullet was indeed somehow ranked. Let's jump over to Fight Pass and have a bloody look. Fight Pass. I was thinking the other day, when I get old, I might just go wandering into the forest with a backpack. When I get really old and I know that it's over, I think I might just go wandering into the forest with a backpack, like a really nice scotch, a really nice cigar, a camping chair, and a gun. I reckon. Does this count, chat? This is the question. So Michael Venom Page wasn't ranked, but he got a win. He got a win over the 14th ranked Shara Magomedov. So for the Olympics, does it count? Michael Venom Page didn't get the win. Michael Venom Page didn't get the win. Michael Venom Page did get the win, but he wasn't ranked. But he got a ranked win, so does it count? Let's do a poll. This is an important If Shara got it, it would not count. It counts. It counts. All right, so we don't know. It counts. So if you get the win over the ranked guy, it counts. Okay. But here's the shit thing, guys. Here's the shit thing. MVP. You guys are going to hate this, but fuck it. I'm playing it. I'm playing it anyway. I'm playing it. Just because fuck MVP. MVP chooses to fight under the global flag. He chooses no nation. So even though it does count, MVP doesn't win points for England because he doesn't want to rep England. You can see there, he chooses to not fight under the English flag. What do we think about that, chat? I'm not giving the points to MVP. You are right, MVP should get the points, but MVP chooses to fight under no nation. So his win doesn't qualify. MVP is his own category, so MVP doesn't qualify in the who's winning UFC 2025 because he doesn't walk in with a flag. So he doesn't put points on the board. He doesn't put 1 point for Russia. Yeah, MVP doesn't put points on the board for his country. I'm sorry, MVP, but you want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. Sorry, MVP. You don't get to go on the board, mate. 1 point for Russia. Stop rigging. I'm not rigging it for Russia. MVP walked out without a flag. I'm not rigging it for Russia. MVP walked out without a flag. He doesn't fight under England. What do you want me to say? This is fair. This is fair. From Russia with love. Oh, God. Okay, so here we go. Shara was ranked 15th. Dougie takes the plastic gun up the... All right, Zesty Drinkers. My dad got diagnosed with FTD earlier this year. Still getting used to it, just being... What is FTD, Bobby Mace? What's FTD? It counts. Go and buy MSN. Best anti-inflammatory on earth. Dougie, once again, all the connective tissue is made of... Yep. Well, we're very lucky because my mum is... a herbalist, so she looks after my dad really well, which is good. So we're very lucky with that. Still winning the top 15. When I go out, I want to climb a tree in a thunderstorm and fly a kite. Yes, mate. I'll become immortal. That's the way. MVP is his own category. Stop rigging it for Russia from Russia with love. That's retarded. You don't need to walk out with a flag. It's not the Olympic. He's still obviously from the UK. I don't think it counts, mate. He chose to not fight under the English flag, so he's not part of this. Frontal temporal dementia, basically just a shitty version of dementia. Yeah, right, Bobby Mays. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, that does suck. That's horrible. I've had friends' parents who have had that. That is horrible, mate. I'm sorry to hear it. Yeah, it's one of those things, mate. It's another reason why, like, I don't know, dude. I think I might, rather than just pass away in some old person's home where no one knows who the fuck I am. I think when I start noticing that I'm getting close to the end of the game, I think I'm just going to go for a long walk in a nice forest. I think that's the way out. Why does MVP not have a flag in his image of him versus Shah? He didn't want to fight under a country, so he didn't want to fight under a country. It definitely counts. Your racism towards anyone not of Eastern Europe is showing. Dougie has dyslexia from snorting too much plaster dust. Never mind, you explained it. I was behind. Fair enough, Jazaka. Okay, so does MVP earn England a point? Does MVP earned England a point? I want to get eaten by a sea creature when I go out, like a gator or something. I mean, you can do that, Bobby Mace. You're free to do that. You know where to find them. You know where to find them. You know where they are. Serbian hasn't won a fight in the UFC in years, so Dougie's trying to latch onto the right. I'm not trying to latch onto the right. It's not. How am I big upping the Russians here? I'm just pointing out the fact that the Russians are winning. That's all I'm doing, mate. This is an unbiased counting towards who is winning in the UFC in 2025. This is a go through the cards, count up who's won, give them points depending on how high the win is in the rankings, and whoever's winning is winning. It's not my fault that Russia is absolutely obliterating the entire planet in every single way possible, you know? Economy, social values, ongoing wars, UFC. It's not my fault that Russia's just obliterating everyone it sets its eye on. Maybe people should start paying attention. Yes. Okay, cool. So MVP wins the... Oh! No, we'll go with yes. All right. MVP gets himself a point. MVP earns England a single point. Well done. England gets to go on the board. Good work, MVP. You earned England a single point. Nicely done. Nicely done. Dougie took the Russian money from Timple. Dude, fucking Timple. Insane, isn't it? Fucking insane that Timple was taking Russian money. Fucking crazy world we live in. What percentage do you think Pereira is able to come... What percentage do you think there is of Pereira being able to come back? In what sense, Nuru? I think Pereira can still have a fun career in the UFC. But to beat Magomed Ankalaev, 20%. He's got to catch Magomed Ankalaev rushing in and sleep him. 20%, I would say. Punch his chance. Social values. I'm from Estonia and I respectfully disagree. Fair enough, Johan. You may respectfully disagree. The world is a wild and diverse place. Alright, moving on to the next fight. Moving on to the next fight. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. UFC 312, Duplessis versus Adesanya. How many ranked fights were on there? Let's move on. Dricus Duplessis gets 5 points for South Africa. Dricus Duplessis gets 5 points for South Africa. They're completely different, mate. Completely different. Duplessis, 5 points for South Africa. These are completely different, mate. Completely different. Boom. Done. Who else fought on that card? Now, again, we're just doing male MMA. So, Weili Zhang and Tuariano Sanes. Talshin Teixeira versus Justin Tuffer. Fuck me. That was not a ranked card. That was absolutely not... Wait, Justin Tuffer wasn't ranked. No, Talshin Teixeira was just coming off the Contender Series. Dude! On a pay-per-view. Talshin Teixeira's very first fight in the UFC was on a pay-per-view. Fuck, that's dog shit. Jake Matthews versus Jack Jenkins wasn't ranked. Tom Nolan wasn't ranked. There were no ranked fights. Tuffer was ranked. Tuffer cannot have been fighting a debutant. There were no ranked fights on UFC 312. My new neighbours are from Estonia. Shout out to Estonia. There were no ranked fights on UFC 312. I'll check this fight to see if it was ranked. But I don't think that it was, Nacho. I'll check the fight to see if it was ranked. Oh, what's up, Leroy? Good to see you, man. We're just doing a UFC Olympics, dude. No, not ranked. Justin Tuffer. No, not ranked. Not ranked at all. Not ranked at all. What's up, Leroy? What are we doing today? I'll give you a rundown. Who is winning the UFC in 2025? A top 15 win gets you 1 point. Top 5 win gets you 2 points. Competing for a title gets you 3 points. Winning for a title gets you 5 points. Need to make that. Winning a title gets you 5 points. Russia is dominating. What's up, Making the Walk? How are you, dude? What's up, brother? How are you, man? Shout out to Making the Walk MMA. How are you, man? And to Crossover and to Fight Nights with Frankie. You guys, your collabs are fucking amazing, man. I hope you're good, dude. 3 points for USA for competing for a belt. I think that should only give 2 points, but it's too late now to change it. 3 points to the USA for competing for a belt. I think that should only be 2 points. Yeah, it's too late now. Now we'll have to go back and change it. Yeah, so thank you for reminding me about that. Competing for the belt. Shotgun. I need that. This is why we've got to do it live. So Sean Strickland competing for the belt gets America 3 points. True, true, true. Good to see America get on the board. Good to see America get on the board. Sean Strickland competed for a belt that gets him 3 points. Thank you very much, Todithan. Oh, we're missing America. We're missing America here. This is why we're doing this live, so you guys can check my maths and check my working. This is why we've got to go through it. If I miss anything, you guys can call me out on it. Thank you very much, Todithan. Will you guys be still? You guys are still. Thoughts on Kayla? On Kayla being back on Tiger Belly? What are you talking about, Noru? Kahala being back on Tiger Belly. What are you talking about, mate? Oz has currently 2 belts in the UFC. Life is good. Life is good, mate. Life is good. And Kai Kara France is going to get us a 3rd. The Anzacs are going to be able to stand up as 1 unit. Fucking oath, mate. We love to see that from the Anzacs. Jesus, UFC 312 was a truly, truly phenomenally bad card. So have no ranked fights on the card, just the 2 title fights. Fucking hell. Okay, UFC Fight Night. Cannonier versus Rodriguez. Jared Cannonier beats Gregory Rodriguez. Now, was this outside of the top 5? I reckon it was. I think Jared Cannonier would have been ranked like 12th or something at the time. Let's have a look. Where was Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez? Oz might win thanks to Yair getting put in as a victor. Australia might win the year, mate. Australia might win the year. We'll see. Jared Cannonier was 7th. So a win to America in the top 5 gets America 1 point in the rankings. America has got to claw their way back here with shit. Look at that Russian dominance. Oh, that's all right. America still has time to claw their way back. America has still got time to claw their way back. Were there any other ranked fights on this Fight Night card? Were there any other ranked fight? Yusuf Zalal versus Calvin Kattar. Was Calvin Kattar still ranked at the time of this fight? Does Yusuf Zalal... What software are you using? None. I'm doing this all by fucking... Where's Brazil, mate? Am I missing something? You're not missing Brazil. Brazil's right there. Under Russia. Brazil's right there under Russia. I'm not using any software. I'm going through this 1 fight at a time and checking. There's no way to do it in any other way. I don't think Calvin Kattar was ranked at the time, but let's jump across and have a quick look. I don't think... That's not pleasant to look at. No one wants to see that. Kattar's still ranked now. Besides, yeah, Calvin Kattar was ranked 10. Calvin Kattar was ranked 10. There you go. Yes, Brazil is right there under Russia. So Yusuf Zalal gets whatever fucking country he's from 1 point. Morocco. Yeah, Brazil's right there, guys. Can't you see it? Brazil's right there. There's Brazil, right there. Right there under Russia. The Brazilian flag. Brazilian flag's right there. If you go and guess who it is, 10 points to you. 10 points to you if you can guess who it is. I guess we need the Moroccan flag. Who would have guessed? That's a sweet, sweet booty. It's Brazil. It's official. Ah, yes, but do you know who it is? Do you know who it is, mate? Laura Santos? It is not Laura Santos. No. It is a female UFC fighter. Okay, so Morocco enters the rankings. I was looking at the wrong flag. Okay, Tara is still... Thank you, Toad. I appreciate that. All right, India. You're going to... Poor India. So Morocco gets itself 1 point. Fucking on you, Morocco. Having a go. One half of the first main event of the Polyana Viana. It's not Polyana Viana. No, it's not Polyana Viana. No. One point for Morocco. On you, Morocco. Having a crack. Were there any other ranked fights on this Fight Night card? So are the points based on the person they beat or where that fighter is ranked at the time? So if you are unranked, but you get a ranked over a ranked top 10 to 5 guy, you get a point. You get a point. If you're in the rankings, so if you're like say ranked 7th and you get a win over a ranked 5 guy, you get 2 points. If you compete for a title, you get 3 points. If you win a title, it's 5 points. If you're ranked 7th versus ranked 11th, you get 1 point. But if you're unranked and you get a ranked win over ranked 11th, you get 1 point. So I think that makes sense, right? Samurai MMA 15 is live on Fight Pass. Goat shit only. Samurai MMA 15. What is Samurai MMA? Quick quiz. Who was the main event to start the year? I'm not sure, Leroy, but it's not fair for me because I've got Tapology open right in front of me. Am I ruining it by saying it's Mackenzie Dern? You know who it is, Nacho. Ribas versus Dern, and the Brazilian flag is... The Brazilian flag is Mackenzie Dern. On you, boys. On you, boys. There you go. The Brazilian flag is Kenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern. Good on you. Good on you, Dern. Get in there, mate. All right, what a flag. What a flag. And back does Brazil go. Back you go, Brazil. Oh, no, we've ruined everything now. Now we've ruined everything. We've got to tighten that flag up. There we go. All right. Back you go, Brazil. Beautiful stuff, mate. Mackenzie Dern was one half of the main event to start the year. There you go, Leroy. You got it, mate. You got it. Leroy got it absolutely right. Isn't Mackenzie Dern Brazilian? Why does her accent keep changing? You tell me that, Noru. You tell me that, mate. You answer that for me. Let's go back over to UFC Fight Night, whatever the fuck this was. How did UFC Fight Night Cannonier Rodriguez have more ranked fights than UFC 312? Edmund Shavazian versus Dylan Booker. I don't think they were ranked. Islam Bonfim. No. No one else was ranked on that Fight Night card from memory. Thank you, Toad, for being here to check my working. I appreciate you, mate. Okay, moving down. Moving on down to UFC Fight Night. Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Now, where was Henry Cejudo ranked during this fight? Fuck off, mate. No one cares. Was Henry Cejudo still in the top 5 when Song Yadong got a win over him? Was Henry Cejudo still in the top 5? How many points does China get? Let's have a look. Henry Cejudo was ranked 7th. Song Yadong was, so it's only 1 point to China. Ooh, but at least China's getting on the board. We didn't think they might get that many wins, but at least China's on the board. China got themselves 1 point this year so far. UFC. Who is winning the UFC in 2025? The Scottish flag involves a unicorn. What do you mean, Lane? Isn't the Scottish flag just a blue and white cross? Like, isn't that the Scottish flag like that? I think Brazil should just win because of its flag. You would too, Smelly Fingers. Jack is going to put a beating on Islam Makhachev. He is, Miguel. He is, mate. You're not wrong, dude. Dern is American. We don't claim her in Brazil. Well, she's the flag. It is what it is. We don't claim. Are you Brazilian, Leno? Stop playing. Just outside of Montreal, Quebec. Couldn't get a babysitter. Oh, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Well, enjoy your evening anyway. Henry did got a finger in his eyeball. He did, mate. He did. But the standings are the standings. Lane and Nacho, who am I betting on for the women's fights? All right, Tim wants a sick parlay. I think Guliano Ahente is live, Tim. So if you want to jump over to Guliano Ahente and say g'day to him and see what he's betting. Paddy is ducking Armin. Miguel. We covered that at the start of the stream. Very true, dude. Very, very true. Looking at these numbers, we really do kind of suck. Well, it's not over yet, making the walk. This is the yearly tab, so it's not over yet for the Yanks, but we'll see how you guys go. The official animal of Scotland is a unicorn, no light. No shit, really? I thought it was a Highland cow. How is Cejudo ranked if he hasn't won since he came back from the hiatus? Did they just throw him in the rankings via being a former champion? Yes, Jazago. The entire UFC is a scam. I'm half Brazilian, half American. There you go, mate. There you go. Blanchfield via Smudge. There you are. He got eye poked other day. I got eye poked the other day. It hurts bad. Yes, it does fuck with you pretty bad. The Brazilian flag is Norma Dumpmont, and everybody knows that. Armin is the best now that Islam is left. Yeah, he is. The UFC's premier division, the lightweight division, is becoming like... there's Dricus Duplessis versus Hamzat Chimaev. There's Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. That's it. They're the only real divisions right now. They're the only real... Or first round KO just for the lols. Armin and Tapuria would be interesting. Marcus has taken Yarn out. Don't say that, Miguel. I don't want to believe that. The only WMMA I'd ever bet on is Maycee Barber. All right, there you go. So at least Leno, even Lane, who is a female herself, knows that WMMA is generally dog shit. Thanks, Dougie. I got my women's fight from Nacho and Lane. They're better at they're better at them. All right, trust a woman to know who's going to beat a woman on your Leno. Joel Alvarez is a young killer, and Armin Butch. Yeah, Joel Alvarez is really fucking good. Really fucking good. Why did you put the Indian flag on that? The chat demanded it. So we're going to see how India goes. I've got a feeling, Leroy, they're going to come in dead fucking last. And the DeSantis fight to go over 2.5 round. Okay, there you go. Leno's bets are in. When you can't hold Jack down, you're fucked. Bilal found that out. Yeah, I know. So to all the Islam Makhachev fans out there, he couldn't hold down Alexander Volkanovski. He couldn't hold down Dustin Poirier. How's he going to hold down Jack Della Maddalena? Like what? How's he going to hold down Jack Della Maddalena? How? I don't know how you think this is going to work for you guys. It's not going to work for you guys. That's how. All right, we're moving on. Next fight night card. No, I didn't finish this fight night card. This is why. This is why I've got to do it slow, methodically, and deeply. Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan Allen. I believe this was a ranked fight. Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan Allen 2 was a ranked fight. Let's have a look. Is America finally getting itself some more points? Anthony Hernandez versus Brendan Allen. Let's have a look. Brendan Allen was 9th. Anthony Hernandez was 12th. Boom. But does Anthony Hernandez rock the fucking American flag? Hernandez? He does. Of course, a Hernandez does rock the American flag. Of course. Makes total sense, doesn't it? Top 15 win for the Americans. The Americans claw themselves another point. Maybe they'll get close to Russia by the end of the year. Who knows? On ya, America. Well done. Well done. Were there any other ranked fights on this card? I reckon there were, mate. I reckon that Rob Font, I think Rob Font was ranked. I think Rob Font has held his ranking for a very, very long time. Rob Font versus Gene Massimento. Rob Font versus Gene Massimento. Let's have a look here. Rob Font was 9th. Rob Font doesn't fight under the American flag. Oh, Rob Font doesn't fight under the American flag. He fights under Puerto Rico. Fights under Boston. Ooh, now you guys said the flags don't matter. So I guess it is a win for America, 10-5. I guess Puerto Rico, it doesn't get its own. Puerto Rico doesn't represent itself in the Olympics, does it? So there you go. Rob Font gets another point to the Americans. Bloody on you, Robertson Font. Good on you, mate. And I don't think the last fight on the card, I don't think Gene Silva versus Bagdasarian. Puerto Rico is an American province? Yeah. I don't think it counts. I don't think Gene Silva versus Bagdasarian was a ranked fight. I don't think Gene Silva had his ranking yet. I think he was still outside of the rankings. I think Gene Silva's fight against Bryce Mitchell was his first ranked fight. Let's just quickly double check. Make sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Gene Silva versus Robertson Font. Robertson Font, you earn the Americans a single win. No, Gene Silva versus Magdan Bagdasarian was not a ranked fight. So, at the end of UFC Fight Night, what were we up to? Cejudo versus Song. America comes in with 6 points, Russia 10 points, Brazil 4 points, Georgia 5, England 1, South Africa 5, China 1, the Czech Republic 2, France 2, Morocco 1, and somehow India, shockingly, still at 0. The world weeps. Let me read some chats. When you can't hold down Bilal, you're fucked. Yep, Jack has got the best get up. Jack does have the best get up. It's fucking beautiful watching him get up. Do you reckon Jasmine Jasutova has a shot at pointing some points on the Canadian flag? Unfortunately, Leroy, we're only doing male fighters. This is who is winning men's UFC in 2025. I want JDN to win. Let's pray for that. I reckon JDN will win. Yeah. Islam at 170 without the big cut is going to be more healthy. He is going to be more healthy. That is true. He's going to be a lot heavier. True. We have a disagreement. What about the other one? Robertson Font. That was the card I picked every fight, Tim. You're right. I'm not doing that for tomorrow's card, though. And I'm only picking and betting on one of the WMMA fights. There you go. So, Lane isn't... Dude, no one is all in on tomorrow's card. Even... You know it's a bad card? When even the degenerate gamblers are like, yeah, I'm not taking all that action. I'm not taking that. I can't be bothered with that either. That's when you know you're at a fucking bad card. When even the degenerate gamblers don't want to get on board with it. Next UFC Fight Night card was. Next UFC Fight Night card. Where the fuck did I just do it? UFC Canada. That's not right. That was not the next card. Not even fucking close to it. Manel Kape versus Asumabayev. Manel Kape versus Asumabayev. How high up the rankings was this main event? How high up the rankings was Manel Kape versus Asumabayev? Where did the rankings come into it? Manel Kape was ranked 6th, so that's only 1 point for whatever the fucking country Manel Kape is rocking there. Angola. I didn't think Angola was going to be making it here onto the board, but like, check it out. Looks like Angola is making it onto the board with 1 point. Who would have bloody guessed, mate? Who would have bloody guessed that Angola was going to be coming on? There we go. What a dude, that is a sick flag. That is a sick flag from Angola. Sorry, India. You know what, India? You're going to have to get yeeted. There just simply isn't room for you. Fucking great flag from Angola, Stan. A machete on the flag. Recently banned in Victoria, in my state, the sales of machetes. Young people keep stabbing each other with machetes at shopping centres, and my state has ruled that it's the machetes that are the problem. Where the fuck is Angola? No fucking idea, but Manel Kape put a point on the board for them. Third event this year with only 10 bouts. Interestingly, the last two, Fight Night Kape and UFC 313 Pereira versus Ankalaev, both had 5 underdogs win each year. It's been a very up and down year for the gamblers, I reckon. It's been a very up and down year for the gamblers. You don't know which ones are going to go with. Cody Brundage. But was Cody Brundage ranked? I don't think he was. I don't think Cody Brundage was ranked. I think Cody Brundage sits just outside of the rankings. So I think there was only 1 ranked fight on that entire card. I don't think there were any other ranked fights on that card. Yeah, no, they weren't. Got to get on Tapology, Tim, for fuck's sakes. I've been consistent, only posting in mine and one other Discord in the last few months. I'll start picking every single card, every fight when I get on Tapology. Yeah, like, I don't even bother picking every single fight anymore. It's just not worth it. The quality isn't there to be bothered. Want to see a cool flag? Check out the Mozambique flag. Alright, let's have a look at the Mozambique flag. Let's have a look at the Mozambique flag. Mozambique flag. Let's have a look. Holy shit, that's a cool flag. Farmer, AK-47, and the Bible. That is the flag of the based. You got the Bible, you got an AK-47, and you got farming. That is small town living defended by an AK-47 over the Bible. You don't get more fucking based than that flag. Maybe Mozambique is the place where we're going to set up our future based economy. God damn. Future flyweight goat Ramazan Temradov schooled ranked Charles Johnson on the Kape Asumabayev. Thank God you're here, Toad. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, Todathan. So where am I going? I'm going to look for Nasrat Akbarast. This was ranked? The very first fight of the night on the prelims was ranked? Get the fuck out of here. I swear to God, I'm so lucky that I've got you hardcores here in the chat. Honest to God. Who the fuck would have caught that? Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temradov. Why isn't it coming up in UFC Fight Pass? Why isn't it coming up? Charles Johnson, Ramazan Temradov. What was this? Charles Johnson was ranked 12th. Schooled ranked Charles Johnson on the Kape. Toad, how the fuck did you remember that? Ramazan Temradov got a win. Ramazan Temradov got a win. For what's his face? For wherever the fuck he's from. Uzbekistan, of course. Uzbekistan. I think we can just say that Uzbekistan is like, if we're gonna say Puerto Rico is a province of America, I think we can just say that Uzbekistan is a province of Russia, right? Like, that's fair. So I think we can just give Russia another. So we'll give Russia 11 points. We'll give Russia 11 points. Since Uzbekistan is pretty much just a... What? No, I think that's fair. You guys want to claim Puerto Rico? I'm pretty sure I watch every single Ramazan Temirov fight once a week. Yeah, no, so I think what we'll do is by the end of that card, we'll give a Russia 11 points. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you, dude. And we'll just say that Uzbekistan is... We'll just say that Uzbekistan is a province of Russia, which of course it is. America with 6 points, Russia with 10 points, Brazil with 4 points. Uzbekistan are here to empire, and Uzbekistan is... I know, Uzbekistan makes it onto the board with 1 win. India still somehow remains at 0 points. Can you suck off Russia, Rennie? I'm just kidding, you fucking idiots. I'm just fucking playing around, man. Relax. Just relax. What's up? What's up, Paul? How are you, dude? What's up, Paul? Toad is a man of culture. Toad is an absolute man of culture, man. India with 0 points. And by the end of another week, somehow India has once again ended up at 0 points. Okay. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Thank God that the hardcores are here. Thank God that the hardcores are in this chat. I'm not relaxed at all. Fucking relax, Nacho. Moving on to UFC 313. They're completely different, mate. Completely different countries. Uzbekistan, 2 points. You forgot Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov? Where did I forget Bogdan Guskov? Please, Toad, tell me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Tell me. Where did I forget Bogdan Guskov? Bogdan Guskov, Tapology. No, do this. Where did I forget Bogdan Guskov? Doug reads Tim's fanfic you were... Sorry, Tim. Hey, Tim. Dougie read your fanfiction on stream. Recommend it thoroughly. I read it this morning. It was fucking good. It was really fucking good. UFC 311, was it? Let's have a look. Bogdan Guskov, UFC 311. Let's have a look. UFC 311. Back over to Tapology. Bogdan Guskov against Billy Akina. You reckon this is a ranked win, do ya? Let's have a look. You need to read it on the stream. It's a work of... Okay, I'll read it on the stream after this. Let's put in Bogdan Guskov and then I'll read it on the stream. Oh, that's because I had that stupid fucking opening where you can't see the rankings. So I gotta go. Billy Akina isn't ranked. Billy Akina isn't ranked. Bogdan Guskov. No. Oh, yeah, it does, because you're in the ranking. Yeah, it does count, yeah. 13th! Bogdan Guskov is 13th. It does rank. It does count. It does count. It does count. It does count, Toad. Yes. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Uzbekistan getting themselves a second point. Yeah, it did count. It does. You're right. It does count. Any win between 1 and 5 gets you a point. Yes. Uzbekistan with 2 points. There you go. Uzbekistan with 2 points. Who would have bloody guessed? Let me read your chats. Okay. As soon as India's Kashya Warrior Boys train in MMA, India will rule. We'll fight with Tim one day, mate. But so far, they can't get a single win. Like the Anzacs, just like the Anzacs, dominate. Isn't that the character with the eyebrows from Breaking Bad? It might be, no. And to be fair to Tim, it wasn't fanfic to use his third eye to travel dimensions and see what would happen in a universe where Doug and Brian really fight. Tim exhausted his chakras. I'm sure he did. Doug's such a casual forgetting his namesake. Bogdan is not my... Not my Serbian name. My Serbian name is not Bogdan. Okay, Tim. Okay, Tim. Let me scroll up. Okay, so the question was, what would happen if Doug actually fought Brian Stan in backyard brawls, like it is in Dan Hooker's backyard? What would happen if I fought Brian Stan in the backyard brawls? Tim wrote just an amazing reply, which I will go through now thusly. It says, "It's funny you ask, Nacho. I was actually going to leave this one because of my usual precognition, which comes after fasting from 2 days and then a 150-degree sauna. This one just happened to involve Dougie's now certain come-to-strength test against a fight with Brian Stan. In the 5K sub prize box, you should write your middle name on a piece of paper." No, I'm not going to do that. Dougie to win the deadlift strength event, which happened before the fight. Brian's corner threw in a towel, fearing Brian would injure himself before the fight. Dougie gets dropped by a body kick in the first 10 seconds, but his training kicks in, and he gets up quickly in ape deadlift position, with both arms straight angled down at a 35-degree angle, with his chin in the air, so Brian, unfortunately, uppercuts his chin. Dougie goes down again. Once again, his training kicks in, and he gets up quickly again in the ape deadlifting position, with his arms unfortunately down at a 35-degree angle, this time with his chin in the air. This time, Brian needs him straight in the jaw. Dougie goes down, and it takes him thrice as long to get up this time. Both Brian and Herb Dean are in awe of his absolute grit to get up and maintain his deadlift position. Chin just crowning forward, the crowd clapping away. This happens for 10 seconds, but Dougie loses his core strength and falls flat on his face and KOs himself. Herb Dean waves off the fight, and Brian is stuck in a loop of bowing and turns to Dougie. Aussie and Crocop, because he thinks he's Serbian and Croatians and Serbians are the same, start clapping. Ariel Hawani sees what's occurring from his tunnel. Ariel Hawani sees what's occurring from his tunnel and quickly takes a high-speed rail train to the apex. Being he knows how to beat the MK Ultra out of Brian because of his time in the military. Ariel performs all the different dances, dances and assaults required to break the MK Ultra training of Brian Stan. The crowd cheers, and I fall strongly from the moment on. All of MMA loves and respects Ariel for his tunnel prowess and for saving Brian Stan's brain. Back to the fight. Herb is with the judges reviewing the tapes, and after coping an earful from Dan Hardy for not stopping the fight earlier, "It's over! Stop the fight!" On review of the tape, it clearly shows that Dougie fell forward before Brian Stan's knee, with both knuckles just touching the ground. Brian is disqualified, and Dougie is ruled the winner. Rogan gives Dougie the mic, and dazed and confused, Dougie quotes, "Dazed and confused," and says, "I keep getting older, but they keep staying the same age." Rogan says to him, "That's inappropriate, but a blast from the past, Dougie." Dougie, still being dazed and confused, thinks he's back in the corner and needs to do an impersonation. An inappropriate quote from the movie, Blast from the Past. So he points directly at Herb Dean and says, "By lucky stars." All the guys in the crowd laugh, and all the white guys in the crowd virtue signal offense. Whoever wrote that fanfiction seems to have very good pattern recognition ability. Well, hang on a minute. Very well done. Very, very well done. Excellent work there. Bloody excellent. Who wrote that piece of art? Tim did. 3 cheers for Tim, mate. Well done, Timothy. Well done, man. That was a damn good piece of art there, Tim. Well done, mate. You guys didn't think I was going to read the entire thing word for word, did you? Come on, mate. You didn't think I was going to read the entire thing word for word. Come on now. I was not going to be doing that. But still, damn good stuff from Tim. Damn good stuff. All right. Toad saved me from being an absolute bloody imbecile and missing out on the great Bogdan Guskov. Who would have guessed? Put some respect on Tim's... Oh, dude, that was amazing. That was amazing from Tim. That really was. That was fucking beautiful. I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed from Tim. Now, what did we do? We did Manel Cap. Now we did Pereira versus Ankalaev. So straight away from the top of the card, Russia is going to win itself another 5 points because Russia gets a championship win over Alex Pereira. So Russia gets 5 points, turning to 15. Although Pereira does fight for a title, which means Pereira gets 3 points for Brazil. So 9 points for Brazil. Let's have a look at the rest of the card, shall we? Let's jump over to the rest of the card and work our way down. Justin Gaethje gets a win over Rafael Fiziev. Justin Gaethje... Is Justin Gaethje in the top 5 at the time of this fight? Or has Justin Gaethje dropped just outside of the top 5? Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev 2. Is Justin Gaethje still in the top 5 during this fight? UFC 313. He's 5th. Justin Gaethje is 3rd in the world at the time of the fight. Excellent stuff for Justin Gaethje. Absolutely saving the Americans. They needed that. A win in the top 5 gets America 2 points. America is up to 8. What is happening? Why can I not select America? Why does America not want to be selected? America moves up to 8 points. Claws just behind Brazil. Excellent work. America holding it down. Holding it down is America. Nice work there. There might have been a different future if Brian had made it to Valhalla. There might have been. Yeah, that's fair enough. But unfortunately, Brian Stan went out like an absolute pussy in the WEC. Didn't go into Valhalla. Not my fault. You also forgot about Walter Walker being raked against Dontal Mays on the Cannonier Rodriguez fight. Yes, that was actually a ranked fight. Holy shit. Let me put that there, and I'll circle back to that after we finish doing UFC 313. Very good stuff from Toad is being a very, very good fact checker here, and I'm very. This is why I love having the old school hardcores on the chat. I absolutely love it because they pull me up on my own shit. This is why Lucas Tracy needs to go live, because if you don't go live, you don't get pulled up in the own shit that you get wrong. Toad, I'm gonna finish UFC 313, and then I'll circle back to the Walter Walker. Then I'll circle back to Walter Walker. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Jarlin Turner. I think Jarlin Turner was 13th from my recollection. I think Lucas Tracy, I know, but I don't want to be Lucas Tracy. I want to be like a good MMA YouTuber. You know what I mean? I want to be good at this. I don't just want to make shit up and come up with funny catchphrases. I want to make shit up and come up with funny catchphrases. Jarlin Turner was 13th. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. Come on. From someone who rarely remembers anything. Come on, chat. That's not bad from me. That's not bad from me at all. To actually remember something, that's not bad from me right there. Jarlin Turner was 13th. Bahamondes won. Getting him a top 15 ranked win. On ya, Bahamondes. Chile. Did we do Chile yet? I don't think Chile's in here yet. Chile. Let's get Chile a point on the board. On ya, fucking Chile. Let's get Chile a point on the board. Fucking on ya, Chile. That's not good. One sec. Let's get Chile a point on the board. Dun, dun, dun. Let's get Chile a point on the board, boys. Australia hasn't scored a point yet. so far in the year. Australia and New Zealand both haven't scored a point yet, which is fucking annoying. As much shit as I'm giving the Americans, at least the Americans have got some points. Australia and New Zealand has got absolutely nothing so far, which is really annoying to me. What's up, Cheddarhead? How are you, brother? Good to see you, man. Chat, do you realize as soon as we start adding up our pissy little Anzac population in comparison, you'll see the Anzacs rule the UFC like they did on the battlefield in war? Ah, yes, Tim, you haven't seen my grand plan for the end of this yet. Once I adjust for per capita... Oh, once I adjust points for per capita at the end of this, oh, mate, you haven't seen shit yet. There's a grand plan coming to secure Australia the win for UFC 2025, mate. Don't worry about that. I've thought about it, Tim, and I'm going to do some mathematical manipulations by the end of this. How are you, Cheddarhead? Good to see you, mate. What the fuck did I just do? Australia seems to not have a ton of ranked fighters outside of two champions. Maybe you're having a brain fart per capita. They're still killing it with two... Yeah, we're doing very well. We're doing very well per capita. Like, we're only 25 million people. And even then, why do I keep clicking on these? What if they live and train full-time in the UFC? Doesn't count. It does. Well, it depends. It depends what country they're representing when they walk out. Seems to be the way that we're going with this. Seems to be what country they're representing on Tapology. Amanda Lemos versus Islam Lacindo. No one cares about that. Ruffy versus Green. Another ranked fight, I reckon. Another ranked fight, I reckon. Green was in the rankings, I reckon. Not manipulation. Maths is the fact. We are the best. We are the best. We are the best. We're absolutely killing it. Especially when you consider that out of 25 million people, the Anglo population is only 60%. So we're not even representing the 25 million. We're representing 60% of the 25 million. Bobby Green wasn't ranked. Bobby Green was out of the rankings. Shocking turn of events here at the UFC Olympics. Bobby Green wasn't ranked. He got kicked out. Joshua Van, Raid Saruya, not a ranked fight, I don't think. Brennan Ferrara, Armin Petrosian. Was Petrosian ranked? Was Petrosian ranked? Bruno Ferreira versus Petrosian. Was he ranked? Maybe. Petrosian might have been ranked. No, Petrosian was not ranked. Marlon Santos versus Francis Mitchell. No. And Ozzy Diaz versus Durjan Santos. No, no, no. What does this say? Let's have a bloody look, mate. Let's have a look. Okay, so I think that's the end of UFC 313. We got to circle back around. We got to circle back around to Toad's ranking. Dagestan versus Chechnya is most of the Russian fighters. If you separate them from the other Russians, then they are ridiculously ahead of everyone else per character, and they're even smaller than Australia. That is true. The Dagestanis are insane. Dougie, is it a metered stream day? I was just thinking that, actually, because it's been an hour and a half. Yeah, I was just thinking that. No manipulation, Dougie. We're the best. That is true. I just want to... Hang on a second. What does this bloody say? Translate. Google Translator. What do you say? What do you say in Russian? Russia will win by 4 points on your Ronalk. On your Ronalk. Alright, let me just go back to Toad. I want to just cap this off before we start the next phase. Toad said... It's easy to just scroll up. You also forgot about Walter Walker being ranked on Dontel Mays on Cannonier versus Rodriguez. Alright. Dontel Walker. Walter Walker versus Dontel Mays. Let's go have a look. Let's go have a look and see how correct Toad was. I don't know how Toad does this. I really don't know how Toad does this. Walter Walker versus Dontel Mays. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way this was ranked. Fucking blobs at heavyweight might save the Americans. Dontel Mays, 15th. Walter Walker. Unbelievable. Volta Walker gets the win over Dontel Mays, and Volta Walker is fighting out of Russia. But he's Brazilian. Who do I give the points to, chat? Who do I give the points to? Born in Brazil, fighting out of Russia. Fighting under the Brazilian flag. I feel like I got to give the points to Brazil. Chat's going to say, if I give it to Russia, chat's going to say that I'm glazing Russia. So I think I got to give the points to Brazil, right? Yeah, I got to give the points to Brazil, even though he's fighting out of Russia. Yeah, no Daggy's part of Russia like Western Australia's part of Australia. They have Slav, not Arab. They are Slavic. That is true. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, I got to give it to Brazil. Chat will fucking rage out. The fact that Dontel Mays' rank shows just how god awful heavyweight it does, man. It's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. All right, we're gonna give it to Brazil. So Mackenzie Dern, she gets another slap. On you. All right, boys. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. It's up to you. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. It's totally up to you. Where is it? Totally up to you, chat. If I stay live, it's completely up to you. The meter has started. We're running a meter on the rest of the stream. $1 donation goes for another minute on the meter to stream. It's up to you. I'm gonna get out of here soon because it's the right time to do it, and I can pick this back up tomorrow. But it's up to you. Having seen Volta Walker interview once, I think Russia should get this one. I know, dude, but it's not fair. And the chat will fucking absolutely flip out if I do this. The chat will absolutely fucking flip out. If it's who they're training out of, then America would win by a landslide of half the UFC trains out. It is true. Yeah. It's who they're representing. Chat will riot for it not being $1 for 2 minutes. It's not fair. It's not enough. It's not enough. Listen, Nacho. YouTube takes 30%. And then taxes take 20%. It's $1 a minute. That's the rate. Otherwise, it's not worth it. I got other things that I can do to make money. it's not worth it. After the time YouTube takes their cut and tax take their cut, $1 a minute is the rate. $1 a minute is the rate. But it is what it is. Timmy, on you, Tim. Thank you for the $5, dude. I appreciate it, mate. Let's get over there and fucking add it to the clock. On you, Tim. You're a good lad. 7 minutes. On you, Tim. Thank you very much for the donos, Tim. Chat, thank Tim for putting 5 minutes on the clock. I appreciate you, Tim. What's up, Chris? How are you, dude? Cutting water weight for fights is indeed hard on anyone, man or woman, but cutting muscle to move down is much more serious for long-term implications. Yeah, I agree, Lane, especially since that also includes all the amino acids and everything surrounding the brain. It's fucking horrible. Where we at? Russia is cooking the UFC, mate. Cooking it. Day's going to make so much bread with this new method. We'll find out, mate. And the channel already now. We'll find out, mate. Don't encourage price. It's not price gouging. It's the economy. Nacho. It's the economy. YouTube takes 30%. No, for real. Tim should get at least 90 seconds. No, for real. Tim should get at least 90 seconds. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. With YouTube's cut of 30% and the government's cut of 20%, it's $1 a minute is... $1 a minute is the economy. That's what the economy is. I've Worked it out. That's what it is. It's $1 a minute is what it is to make it worthwhile. Otherwise, I will go and do my real job, my actual job. All right. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much. The clock is on. Let us go. Let's not fuck around. You boys are paying for this stream. You boys are paying. The taxi meter is fucking running. Don't fuck around. Next one up. Tim writes the best Dougie fanfic we've ever seen, and this is how you reward. I love Tim very much, and I appreciate him, but it is what it is, mate. I appreciate him. Oh, we got to add the timer to this. Window capped. No, we don't want window. Oh, add an existing. Yep, we want the timer. Added it. Beautiful. We want it like that. Like that. Pause the clock because I'm fucking around. This isn't fair. Tim didn't pay for me to fuck around. Pause the clock. Tim paid for stream. Not for me to fuck around. Pause the clock. He didn't pay for me to fuck around with the OBS settings. He paid for entertainment. So, this is unfair to Tim. Add the meter. There we go. What do you guys think of the meter, though? You like it? It's pretty good, right? Pause the clock. Tim paid for entertainment, not for me to fuck around with the OBS. Move up. There we go. Alright, we're back on. There. See, that was fair. Don't say I'm not fair. That was fair. That was fair what I paused the meter. That was fair. Alright, we're off and running. Here we go. Next one up. Now that we did Johnny Walker. I paid because I crashed your stream earlier by not... That's alright, dude. It's all good, man. It's all good. Tim writes the best fantasy. We did that. Tim is number one fan. Tim's a fucking legend, mate. So, alright, Toad. Pereira versus Ankalaev. I don't think I missed anything. Or any country, or anyone. And I could have given points to Russia, but I didn't. But you are right. If I do it that way, America wins by a fucking landslide easily. So that one's done. We're moving on to UFC Fight Night. Vettori versus Dolidze 2. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. I don't think Roman Vettori was in the top 5. So Roman Dolidze gets Georgia 1 point, pretty obviously. I don't think I need to check. Marvin Vettori was not in the top 5. Georgia with another one. Hashtag refund. Why? I paused the meter. That was so fair. That was such a fair. I'm so fair. So fucking fair. Beyond fair. Alright, Georgia with 6 points. Australia still, New Zealand and Anzac still yet to get a single fucking point here. Chetty Nichiguani versus Aledze Zaleski. There's no way that was a fucking ranked fight. There is no way that was a ranked fight. Anthony Hernandez versus Kurt Holobar. That wasn't a ranked fight either. Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. That wasn't a ranked fight. Brenson Ribeiro. You're forgetting Waldo Acosta beating Brian Spann. Waldo Acosta. I hadn't gotten to it yet, but I would have missed that one. Absolutely. There's no way I would have thought that was a ranked fight. Waldo Ortez Acosta. What is he, a ranked 8th heavyweight? Pretty sure that's outside of the top. I don't think Waldo Ortez Acosta is a top 5. I think he's a ranked 8th heavyweight. Waldo Ortez Acosta is ranked 8th in the heavyweight division, I believe. Come on, load up. Ranked 12th. No shit. Ranked 12th. All right, Waldo Ortez Acosta. What country is this? What the fuck is this? G'day there, sweetheart. What country is Waldo Ortez Acosta from? The Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic. Fights under the flag of the Dominican Republic. So he wins himself a point for the Dominicanos. Bang, go over it. Thank you, Toad. You're a fucking legend, mate. Thank you, Toad. Mate, America really needs to start ethnically cleansing its local regions so we can get some points on the board. Because it is letting people pull away from that. Nacho, that's why he's the best mod in the business and the only mod who fills his content create. You're the best mod? Yeah, no, Nacho is without a doubt the best fucking mod in the business. Without a fucking doubt. We love Nacho for it. I don't think I'm missing out on any other fights, though, for this Fight Night card, right, Toad? I think I'm getting them all. Dominican Republic is in the US. Does the Dominican Republic count as a win for Team USA in the Olympics? Let's ask Gemini. Does the technically, let's see. He's the only one who reps his content correct. He is, mate. No, I appreciate him. Does the Dominican Republic the USA points in the Olympics? Does the Dominican Republic get the USA points in the Olympics? No, the Dominican Republic does not get the USA points in the Olympics. No, it doesn't. The Dominican Republic reps itself, brother. Sorry, mate. It is what it is. So, Walla Watezek bloody Costa, the oaf of a thing. UFC Fight Night. Just got here. Are you thinking of Puerto Rico? No, I was thinking of the Dominican Republic. We were doing Walla Watezek Costa. We're doing the UFC Olympics in 2025. No, it isn't. It's just some random Caribbean country. Yep, PR is a U.S. territory. Yeah, I know. We got to Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico got America a point on the board. Shout out to Tim. Okay, so we're done with Roman Dolidze too. We got to keep him on his You do. No, I appreciate you guys. But the $1 a minute is the rate. $1 a minute is the rate. 40 seconds left on the meter, by the way, chat. All right, what was that one? That was Vittori. So the next one is... I was thinking that totally, but that's all good, Crispithan. It's all good, mate. UFC Edwards versus Brady. Next one up. 25 seconds left on the meter, chat. Sean Brady gets a dominant win. Do you have the Cash App? No, I've got PayPal. The link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. PayPal will get you $2 for 1 minute. PayPal will get you $2 for... PayPal will get you $1 for 2 minutes. I'll do special rates for PayPal since that goes around YouTube. So PayPal will get you double rate. It's unfortunate I live near a train with the Warrior Cast boys in Perth. I'm telling you guys, when you start training MMA, which none do, they will own the UFC. Mate, once they get into MMA, that cast, the Kakushta peoples... They will start owning the fucking UFC, but they're not there yet, mate. Okay, I'm going to put a tab in here. Done. We're out of here. Dominican Republic is not in the US anyway. No, they didn't make. So we got up to... I don't got PayPal. That's all right. We're at the end of the stream. We're at the end of the stream. We got up to UFC Fight Night, Brady versus Edwards. I'm putting a note in for tomorrow. UFC Fight Night, Brady versus Edwards. That's what we're up to. So I'll know for tomorrow. That's it. That's the end of the stream. We've reached the end of the metered rate, which is fair enough. It's fair enough. Hour and a half. Plus 5 minutes overtime. Don't forget Tybura beating Parkin for Poland. Was this on this Fight Night card? I'll check it. There you go. There's the notes there, Toad. All right, boys. That's it. I'm out of here. If you are a member, there is a members video that is dropped today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to be live for the entirety of tomorrow's dog shit card, where we will probably end up finishing the UFC Olympics. So I'll see you guys for that. Have a good night in America. Have a good day in Australia. Have a good evening in England. And I'll see you guys for tomorrow's live stream. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the $5, Tim. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'll see you guys then. See you, boys. Have a good one. Goodbye.